Good day, everyone.
We are the presenter of the Module 11 entitled The Japanese Occupation of Moroland and Its Aftermath. But before we're going to start, we would like to introduce our beloved self. First,
I am Ryuan Alaba. And I am Hetler Jane Asusana.
I am Priscort Imhara. And I hope you will going to listen to our discussion.
So first, we will talk about the lesson proper. So the first bullet is the disruption of the Commonwealth government in 1941. So in 1941, the Commonwealth government interrupted by the World War II. Then President Manuel Quezon and other officials flew to the Australia and eventually transferred sila sa US. So with that, President Quezon continue as president of the Djorn. Djorn government means kanang Djorn government is legitimate siya nga government but wala siya control sa state. So while nga naa dito si we call this President Manuel sa US, the Japanese established a de facto government, which means na wala sila legal rights but na sila actual control atong states. So it was headed by President Jose P. Laurel. So the second bullet is Japanese imperial ambition. So the Japanese aim to build an empire across Asia during World War II. So their motivation for this expansion is the slogan, which is the Asia for Asians. The slogan was part of the Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere propaganda campaign to justify the Japanese colonizations as a mission to liberate Asia from Western power. So the next is, number one is, what was the condition of Moroland during the Japanese occupation? So the first bullet, Japanese invasion. So in Moroland, the World War II started with the invasion of Japanese sa Davao and Hulu on December 1914. Then it was followed on April 1942 sa Cotabato and Lanao. So kani nga area kay target ni siya sa mga Japanese to provide air bases and to further their expansion and to Borneo and Celebes. So the next the next bullet is lost chance to win more support. So, di ba, ang Japanese, nag-invade sila sa Davao and Hulu and Cotabato and Lanao. So, with that, ng Japanese could turn their table and win the support of Moro, but if only they understand the situation of Moros and Lumas in Mindanao and Sulu. So, the third bullet is harsh treatment. So, since wala man nila gi-understand ang situations and sa mga Moros and Lumad sa Mindanao and Sulu, they treated the Moros with the same harshness sa mga native Filipinos pod nga na-invade nila. So because of that approach, the Moros who might have the otherwise view the Japanese as liberators. So the next bullet is unexpected positive outcome. So kumbaga, ang kato siya nga, because sa pag-invade sa Japanese sa mga Moros, dito sa Moroland, because of that, kumbaga, naging blessing in disguise siya kay it fosters the Muslim and Christians unity. It was a study conducted in 1985 concluded that in Lanao, this period marked as the best moment of Muslim-Christians cooperation. So next bullet is unified resistance. So these bullets kay since ang nagkaroon ng unity ang Christians and Moro, so Moros eagerly served the United States Army Forces in the Far East or the USAFFE. And later, guerrilla units were organized after General Wainwright ordered the surrender of the USAF. So, ang mga Moros, willingly joined sila ato nga units, which is, ang kato nga units pod, composed siya og mga Christians. So, pag-join nila, kumbaga, nag-compose na siya og Moros and Christians volunteers. So, also, leaders like Dato Salipada Pendatun, together with his brother-in-law, Dato Udtog Matalam, who organized the guerrilla forces in Cotabato. So, while in Sulu, it was led by Colonel Alejandro Suarez, a Christian, A Christian assumed command 125th Infantry Regiment of the guerrilla forces, whom elements are consist of us also Muslims and Christians. So the next bullet is limited Japanese control. So since naana unity ang Christians and Moro, which is nag-join sila sa guerrilla units, ang Japanese, ang ano nila, ang what you call this, ang ila ang liho kay kuan lang limited or kontrolado lang. Kay not because dili sila familiar ato nga place, but because controlled sa guerrilla units ang entire region, which is the Tawi-Tawi, Cotabato, and Lanao. Sa Lanao po, nag-establish sila Free Lanao Civil Government. So, sa Sulu pod, handled pod siya or controlled pod siya by the guerrilla units, which is naga-supplies and nag-print sila mga emergency money. So next is guerrilla warfare. So since 'di ba controlled or limited na ang action sa mga Japanese dito sa Moroland, which is kay kontrolado sa guerrilla units ang region. So, the strong resistance was made unable to move freely beyond a garrison in strategic sites because the guerrilla units, they continue to attack the Japanese with the use of tactics hit and run. So, because of the tactics, 129 Japanese were killed in Tamparan, Lanao. So, because of that, ang Japanese nag-backfire sila, which is nagpabomba sila sa Tamparan for an area nga duol sa Tamparan for 26 days straight. So, the last bullet is hardship remembered in stories. So, guerrilla fighters, ang mga katong mga fighters nga nag-join atong mga units kay extreme suffered, kay nagrabe ilang suffered o ilang sacrifices. Home to be known as Tapikans. Where nga nung Tapikans ang tawag sila kay they are relentlessly pursue into the jungles of Tawi-Tawi that they forces themselves to eat a better fruit, which is ang tapikan. Dira nila kuha ilang name nga Tapikans. And then they eat wild boar, which is knowing that pork is taboo in Islam, but they justified eating pork is the only way for them to not starve to death, and Allah would surely understand. Thank you.
So, since Miss Alapap already discussed this part, so right now we will jump to the question number 2, which is the question, what were the people's reaction to the Japanese occupation? So, the initial reaction of the people in Moroland on the day on Japanese invasion was a mixture of fear, surprise, and shock. So, in Sulu, for instance, they never thought that the Japanese would actually come to Hulu and occupy it. In fact, the landing forces of the Japanese only meet a very weak resistance of the developments of the war in other parts of Asia. And the country, they never thought they would be directly involved in it. They could not imagine that the war would reach their place on a Christmas Eve. Although permanently Muslim, Sulu Archipelago had Christmas eagerly preparing for the traditional Christmas celebration. So, ang mga tao dahil sa Hulu-Sulu, wala sila ga-imagine nga ang war maabot sa ilahang place. So, wala pa sila ga-imagine nga kato ang war di ay ma-occupy ang Hulu-Sulu. Wala pa sila ga-imagine nga ang war is maabot during sa Christmas Eve. So, kabalo man ta sa Hulu is kanang predominantly Muslim ang what we call this, nakapuyo. Pero napod mga Christian nga nagpuyo dito sa Hulu nga ga-expect sila nga sa ilang Christmas Eve is kanang matiwasay, pero wala sila ga-imagine nga maabot dito ang war o ma-occupy sila. So, for the continuation, as with other Filipinos in the country, the issue of collaboration with the Japanese also beset the Moros. Certainly, there were Moros leaders who thought it was better to cooperate with the Japanese than to suffer the new colonizer wrath and cruelty. So, sa other Filipino daw, there are other Moros leaders nga kanang club sa Japanese nga is better daw nga mukulab sila sa Japanese than to suffer sa kamay sa mga new colonizer, which is ang mga colonizer diri is the Americans. So, but for many of those who cooperated with the Japanese, it was to ease the suffering of their people. It was their own way of making the best out of a very bad situation. For the second bullet, this was the position, for example, of the Sultan Saramain Alauya Alonte. So, sa Sultan Ramain, si Alauya Alonte, siya ni ang who articulated his position in the letter to the American colonel commanded the Mindanao Guerrilla Unit. So, the American colonel here is Alejandro Suarez. Siya ang colonel sa American nga nagsend si Alauya Alonte, si Sultan sa Ramain, si Alauya Alonte og letter sa colonel. So, mao ni siya ang nakasulat dito sa letter nga gisend ni Sultan Saramain Alauya Alonte. So before the surrender, I assured the late General Fort all the cooperation that could possibly come from me. And even after the surrender, I wanted to carry on the fight with people who had been faithful to me and loyal to our cause, and I have resolved then to stay in the forest, which I could possibly do even for years. But with the Japanese threats to burn houses and harass my people, after the throughout and mature deliberation, I had no alternative except to surrender to protect life and property from lawlessness, duty, and a sacred one above everything else, to render my people such service which I have been executing day in and day out since that fateful day of my surrender for the sake of the civilian population, especially women and children. So this letter is also talks about the initially promised full cooperation to American forces, plan to continue resistance by retreating to the forest, Japanese threats to burn houses and harass civilian for surrender. Surrender was done to protect life and property, viewed protection of civilians as a sacred duty. So, aside from Sultan Saramain Alauya Alonte, there was other moral leaders who cooperated. So, the first one is si Dato Ombra Amibangsa, Dato Sali Otetalum sa Hulu, Dato Gulamo Rasol of Sulu, Dato Sinsuat Balabaran sa Cotabato, and Dato Minandang Piang of Cotabato. So, there were among the moral leaders who thought it was the best of their people to go along with Japanese policies. They were confident that their people would understand their intention and would not blame them for cooperating with the Japanese. So, these moral leaders nga nag-cooperate sa Japanese is better nga mo go along sila sa Japanese policy. Kanang confident pod kaning mga moral leaders kaning mga dato, kaning mga moral leaders nga mo-cooperate sa Japanese nga, is better daw nga mo-cooperate sila sa Japanese policies and unta ni po daw ma-understand sa ilahang people nga mas better jud nga mo-cooperate sila sa Japanese. And that their viewpoints seem understood by their constituents, as some them were even elected to important government offices after the war. So, after the Japanese saw that they could not succeed in the aim with sheer force, they appealed to the Moros as their brother Asian. So, ang mga Japanese po daw, and nga same daw nga, dili daw jud nila mag-succeed nga ma-force nila ang mga Moro. So, muragi gila na lang nila ang mga Moros as a brothers Asians. So, the Japanese would not resort to involving the younger generations of Moro leaders in seminars and leadership training programs in the hope of re-educating and reorientating their predisposition and perspective along the Asians or Japanese lines. So, however, Japanese time and resources were limited to sustain these efforts, which yielded no permanent results. If there was one thing that the Japanese achieved during their occupation of Moroland, it was the guarded enthusiastic obedience of Moros living in the occupied towns. So, if there is one thing na na-achieve daw sa mga Japanese during sa ilang occupation sa Moroland, it was the guarded and enthusiastic obedience of Moros living in the occupied towns. Thank you.
So since Azucena and Alapap has already been discussed their parts, which are what was the condition of Moroland during the Japanese occupation and what what were the people reaction to the Japanese occupation. So this time we're going to transition into the next part, which is the next question, which is what was the impact of Japanese occupation and Morolan and its people. So this question has three impact. First is the wielded Muslim-Christian alliance. So before we're going to go deeper into this topic, we will going to discuss first what is the history of Muslim and Christian. So before Japanese occupied the Philippines, Muslim and Christian has already have a conflict and problema. So na nagresult sa killing, murder, and pati na po sa property damage. So when the time comes nga gisakop na to sa gi-occupy na to sa Japan, kani sila duha is naka-experience og fair og same nga experience, which is the kani suffering, violence og unfair treatment, dili patas nga pag-distribute sa mga pagkaon nga ang gadumala kay ang Japanese. So tungod ana nga panghitabo nag-collide sila, nag-alyansa sila nga mag-resist sila laban sa mga Japan. So tungod ani nabuo po to ang guerrilla nga grupo nga ang guerrilla groups is the group of Muslim and Christian who organized themselves to create an armed force to resist against Japanese. The next is the war damage payments and back pay awards to many Moros officially recognized as former guerrillas resulted in a significant increase of money, wealth, and Morolan. So before we're going to go on this topic first, we're going to kung unsa gid ni siya nga panghitabo. So to those who don't know what is guerrilla, so what I have been discussed earlier, the guerrillas is the group of Muslim and Christians who organize themselves to create a group or armed force to resist against the Japanese. So after the conflict nga nahitabo after the occupation of Japan and the Muslim and Moros, giawardan ang mga former guerrillas giawardan siya sa government nga tungod sa ilang gipakita nga loyalty o pagprotekta sa ilang homeland. So kani siya is ang ni-appeal pud ani nga government nga nag-award is si former President Sergio Osmeña nga ang nipulis first president in the Philippines nga nipuli kay Manuel Quezon human siya namatay. So kani siya nga payback payments award to many Moros is kaning dako kay siya nga opportunities para sa mga Moros kay sa una kaning ang garilay ra gid sila sa barter og ang circulation sa kwarta is dili permanent. So gamay ra gid ang opportunity nga nakakuha ani nga sa kwarta. So after this nga awarding dako kay siyang tabang sa mga Moros kay tungod ani the fun increasing numbers of pilgrims on the Hajj. So daghan na kayo ang mga ni kwan sa kaning Hajj nila nga buhat. Tapos next is build mosques and madrasas and support large public religious ceremonies and other prestigious events. So tungod ani nga opportunity dako gid kay ang natabang sa ilaha sa mga Moros or sa mga Muslim. The next one is the widespread distribution of arms and ammunition. So kani siya is mura siya panggi siya nga topic kay sa una before the Japanese occupy the Philippines, ang mga Japanese is na under pa sila sa mga American. So ang mga American dili sila ginitugutan nga hatagan og mga firearms kay tungod in order to promote peace og kwan sa kana nga lugar kay may naay firearms maka-trigger sa ilang ego nga mag-resist sila dapat laban sa American. So when the time comes nga naabot ang Japan mo to pag na-build pud ang ilang guerrillas nga group mo to kaning nakigresist sila sa mga Japan. So ang ginihimo nila at nga nila ang mga Japan sa ilang sa dalan unsa makita nila kay ilan ning dakop nila tapos ang mga firearms ginikuha nila tapos gini-distribute nila sa ilang mga isig ka grupo para na sila'y firearms nga makuha o makabo o ilang nga grupo is malig-on o para walay problema. So after the 3 years Japanese committed the first act war in the Pacific, the Americans will drop the atomic bombs on Japanese cities in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Ultimately, the Japanese will lead to the complete surrender of Japan to the United States and put close to Japan's chapter in Philippine history. So, tungod sa tension nga nahitabo sa Japan o sa mga Pilipino, naman to ni kasabay na ang mga American. So, ilang gibuhat is mura sila lagi hadlock or wala kung ikuan gyud nga tagakan nila og atomic bomb ang Japanese cities which is the Hiroshima and Nagasaki tungod ato nga panghitabo ni surrender sila kay ang wala man ta nga ang American is dako gid kay sila nga grupo nga lisod gid kay kontrahon. So human ato mo tun dadto nag-end ang history of Philippine history about Japanese occupation. Thank you.
So, since the Module 11 were already been discussed,
We hope that you learned something in our topic entitled Japanese Occupation of Moroland and its Aftermath. Thank you.
Thank you.